it's a reality that lead costs are going to go up. Lead costs always go up, especially with inflation. You kind of asked, two parts to your question. The first part is the different lead channels that maybe your people are not so sure about. TikTok, Instagram, kind of shorter format videos. I think the status for us on those is it's early, but it's a good place to experiment. In terms of keeping lead costs down, for us, it's all about diversity of channels, being in a lot of different places so that if prices or performance are going up, that you have options to move budget, shift dollars around, not be overly dependent in any one place so that you can pivot very quickly if something's getting out of hand from either a performance or a cost perspective.
Anything to add to that?
Yep. Thanks, Chad. My name's Jeff Barnes. I'm the GM of Modernized Home Services. Excited to be here. We constantly see the digital landscape evolving every single day, right? If we were up here a couple years ago, TikTok would not be mentioned. Now it's prominently used by major homeowner demographics across the board. We're constantly testing in new areas to really figure out what's going to hit next from a marketing standpoint. Generally speaking, not all media is created equal, right? So what happens on Google is different than what happens on Bing. What happens on Instagram, to Chad's point, is different than what happens on TikTok. We take a fairly tailored approach to the way we view each media channel, segment, and source. And essentially, we look at, it's an acronym, QSMR, qualify, segment, match, and right price, to ensure that we're continuing to deliver value back to our clients, right? It's a very symbiotic relationship we have with our clients. Generally speaking, certain channels and media segments are going to perform better, produce higher average job sizes, thus those cost different things. Whereas lower intent media segments do not deliver the same return. It actually takes more operational infrastructure on the client side for them to work. So obviously we can't produce the same ROI, and thus it has a different cost. So we're constantly looking at the landscape and constantly jiggering things on the front and the back end to do our best to deliver a strong ROI for the client.